Hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to a new episode of Soul Infused Monday. And my announcement might have caused people not to show up, interestingly enough. And at the same time, I'm still going to talk about something that's uncomfortable because we all have to deal with it. It's part of our life. And we usually wanna, hide it, not deal with it, and it's a big part of our being in human experience. If you don't know me, I'm Sonia de la Torre. I'm a light worker. I'm a coach, and I truly embody the concept of growth is outside your comfort zone. So I'm in discomfort a lot. So I'm going to give it a second and see if someone shows up live. And if you're watching the recording, leave me a comment below, say hello. And I want to dedicate this particular show today. And I want to dedicate today's Soul Infused Monday to all the people out there who are committed and courageous and willing to look inside and to do the deeper inner work, and who are willing and brave enough to face discomfort, to really look into the parts in us that are not so nice, that are shameful, that causes us to feel uncomfortable. To all the light workers out there, to my amazing clients that dare to really look deeper and do the deeper inner work. So I want to really dedicate this show today. This is for you. And this is for you if you want to deal better with discomfort, you want to become more free. Maybe there are some old patterns, emotions, thoughts, things in your life that are not working really well, and you want to become free of them. So this is for you too. And why did I choose to talk about this today? The number one reason is that I always love to be really transparent and to share things from my life, because ultimately we are all the same. We are maybe in different stages. We experience things in a different way. Our struggle or our battle is maybe different. However, ultimately we are all the same, and we experience growth, discomfort, and lessons. So in a sense is that because I know how intense life is right now for a lot of people, it might not apply to you, and that's fine. But I know from my clients, people around me that are close, a lot of my friends who are on the path doing the work for a long time, there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of intensity right now. I mean, with the outside, nature's going crazy, bad things, painful things. And at the same time, it is always an opportunity, and it's a doorway to freedom when we face it. Okay? So actually somebody is daring to show up live. I was just saying in the beginning because I said we're going to talk about something uncomfortable that no one would show up. So the few brave ones that are actually live here right now, leave me a comment below, say hello, show who you are, where you are, and let me know if you're struggling with something right now, because this is an opportunity also for you. I can help you clear some stuff today. And just the power of it, even if you watch the replay. I got an email today from a woman in my community, and she watched the last episode of Soul Infused Monday. And she wrote that when she was just starting to watch it, she was totally overwhelmed. She was in tears. She felt really stressed out. And just by watching it and doing the little meditation that I did last week and the energy shift, made a whole difference for her. Like she said, her whole day was completely different just because of that. And so I encourage you to really tune in and let yourself be seen, because I might just be able to help you in a different way. So leave me a comment below, say hello, and welcome to the brave ones. I've been on the journey for over 20 years. I've been in very uncomfortable places in my life. And because I've been in very uncomfortable places in my life, I experience a joy, a happiness, and freedom on a level that I never knew was possible. And just because you reach that point and you keep working on yourself doesn't mean that discomfort disappears from your life. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it. I mean, there's not a lot of people who talk about shame. And I want to talk about shame today. And that's the most, like the worst feeling and the most uncomfortable thing to deal with. So I totally understand if you don't want to listen to it or if you don't want to face it, because it's not easy. However, here's the reality and the truth. Shame in an unhealthy way, in an uncovered, in a hidden way, runs your life in a way that it's not creating joy in your life. And we all experience shame sometimes, and a healthy amount of shame is needed, right? But what shame does, and I know it from own experience, number one, shame wants to hide. So, and when I say shame wants to hide, is it wants to hide literally outside, like you don't want to show up. And years ago, I swear to God, like if I would have dealt with what I'm dealing right now, I would never have shown up in doing this show. Because at this moment in my life, I feel uncomfortable. I'm going through a big transformation. I really feel like I'm taking my next step into a higher consciousness. And that leads to facing some of the stuff that my personality is dealing with. And I'm going to share one of them with you that came back strongly for me. As when I was young, I used to overeat a lot. Food is my way of escaping, is my way of bringing comfort into my life when I feel like everything outside is breaking down. And I'm sharing this with you because, and I'm uncomfortable right now. I'm uncomfortable right now even sharing this with you. And I'm sharing this with you because this is what we get to do if we don't want to be consumed and a victim of shame. So there's always the risk that people are going to judge you. There's always the risk that someone is not going to understand you. And you're not doing this for other people. So I'm uncomfortable right now. And I'm doing this to not only to help me, to help everyone, because we are going through these processes collectively. Hi, Karen. Hi, Gila. I agree with strive to. Yes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being brave. And share with me, can you relate? Do you feel shame and does it feel uncomfortable? Like, let's be real. Does it feel uncomfortable? Yes. So food is one of the ways that I've always struggled with in the past, and I've not struggled with it in a big way anymore. However, this year, especially this last couple of weeks, with everything that went going on, like the hurricane is not even the biggest thing. It was like a big hurricane, but loss, changes, outside, inside. So the comfort zone is not existent at the moment. And because I choose to, because for me, growth is going beyond the attachment of who am I as a body, who am I beyond my emotions and my thoughts and the patterns and what society wants me to be or thinks I should be as a woman, as a person. And I know with the years as I've been doing this, that ultimate freedom and joy comes when you connect with who you really are beyond all those layers and all those labels. However, my personality, my body, my inner child, these old patterns, they're freaking out inside because the outside is just changing and we are all afraid of the unknown. We are all afraid of the unknown, if we want to admit it or not, if we are consciously aware of it or not, but we are all afraid of change. We are all afraid of the unknown. So my point in sharing this with you is because this is happening in my life out of choice, because I know I'm growing and I'm stretching myself outside my comfort zone. This old pattern of eating came up in my life. So I've been overeating, I've been traveling, I have not my routine, so I've been gaining weight, and I feel uncomfortable in my body as well. And then there's always shame. There's always shame because we do not want to admit when something is not going well in our lives. Or some people might even think, oh my God, like she's the self-love coach, and she helps women and men all over the world to feel better about themselves. Yes, and I do. And I still am. And the reason why I can do that is because I face my own shit every day. And the people who follow me, or if you feel, if you resonate with what I do, is because you are also ready and willing to look deeper, and you know that deep transformation and inner work does not happen overnight. And my way is not the only way. Absolutely not. But deep transformation, to make a shift inside yourself and in the world, means you clear your stuff. You look into your dark side. You embrace the feelings of discomfort, like shame, fear, anger, all of these emotions that we try to hide, we try to avoid, we try to escape. And my personality, or my pattern, is to do that by eating. That's how I numb the pain or the shame. And everybody has their own ways of doing that. It could be smoking, drinking, over-exercising, watching TV, hanging on your phone all the time. Like, when was the last time you felt real discomfort and you just sat down and you said, okay, I'm going to breathe through this? Oh God, I feel so ashamed right now. I'm going to breathe through this. I'm going to share it with someone. I'm going to let myself be seen. We don't learn to do this. And the more we hide and the more we escape, the more isolated we get, the more disconnected we get. And the more isolated and the more disconnected we get, the more we either internalize those unhealthy feelings of, stuffed anger, shame, guilt, whatever it is, or we externalize it in a sense that you hurt other people. When I see the things that are happening outside, and I was just talking with a friend, and not everybody will agree with me, and that's okay. The people that go out there and kill and do those horrendous things that are happening in the world, they don't love themselves. They're not in peace with themselves. But instead of instead of taking it against them, they're doing it outside. So I still am the true believer that to make a difference in the world and to bring more peace into this world and to really impact higher consciousness is when you look inside and you look into your own darkness and you heal your own stuff. You clear your own stuff. And when you clear your own stuff, you get in touch with that being of consciousness that you are, the soul that you are, beyond that human experience. And it's our duty to really bring that more forth into the world. Because only hurt people hurt people. Only disconnected people deep inside go out and can actually do harm. Because you are so disconnected. So, okay, I see like there are some comments coming in. I want to just take a moment. Let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you disagree with me. That's fine too. I'm here to open up a conversation. I've been definitely going through a difficult time to the last 18 months, but one day at a time, I'm trying to be positive though it all. Okay, Karen, that's great. Yeah. And I want to be very clear. It's not about staying doomed in negativity. Staying positive is good. However, it's staying positive doesn't mean to, and I'm not saying that you do that, Karen. I'm just using your comment because it's great to bring up a very good point. that sometimes people misunderstand being positive with facing and dealing with what's there. Because it's the same like if you put a band-aid on, watch, I have actually a wound here. It actually hurt. If I have a wound and I just put a band-aid over and over and I don't take care of it and it gets worse and worse and it hurts and I ignore it and I don't heal it, it gets worse and worse. And at some point to look at it and to clean it is a lot, like, ugh. And we want to avoid it because we are afraid of the pain. So there's nothing wrong with feeling pain, feeling shame, feeling anger. It's a totally different story than to suffer from being caught in it all the time. Does that make sense? I mean, let me know if this all makes sense. I really, like if this is helpful. If I share these things with you, that's my point in doing it. Okay, so let me see a few other kinds. Yes, of course, I feel shame and it feels uncomfortable. Actually, facing it and figuring out how to deal with it is hard. Oh yeah, it's very hard, Gila. Thank you for sharing that. I think shame is one of the most difficult things to deal with. And because the mechanism of shame, the first impulse is wanting to hide it, we often are not even aware that it's shame that's happening, because it's so uncomfortable that we often don't realize and we just do something else. We do something else and we might even struggle with something, but we're not realizing, oh, that's excess shame. And at first it feels uncomfortable and at first it's not easy. And one of my greatest, a big advice is when you really want to heal shame, and you really want to become free, is to do some work with someone who can hold the space for it. Because if you share it with someone that is not able to deal with their own shame, they will not be able to hold space for you because they will feel too uncomfortable, and then it will be very uncomfortable for you. It will be actually painful. You will get hurt. And then the mechanism says, oh, it's not safe to share my shame, so I'm not going to do it anymore. And that creates even more hiding, more disconnection. So if you don't have someone that you really feel safe, send me a message. I can guide you to people, or you can come to me. But it's very important that you have someone that can guide you through that in a loving and accepting space. Because once you go through it, it's one of the most beautiful feelings. Like we always say, to heal it, reveal it. And again, I want to emphasize that we all, every single one of us, experience shame. And it's so uncomfortable that we don't even want to talk about it. I mean, it's easy to talk about, hey, everything is nice, and everything is nice, but it's part of our life. It's part of our experience. And I think facing that allows you to dig deeper and access deeper feelings of joy, love, and light within your own essence that are otherwise covered. Okay, so I know it's scary. I know it's super uncomfortable and it's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's so worth it. It's so, so worth it. And it gives you such a feeling of freedom. And coming back to what I shared with you before, that, I'm gaining weight, I feel uncomfortable, there's shame. And at the same time, my soul, my spirit, who I am has never been stronger, and I've never felt freer than right now. And I think it's a great opportunity, especially for us women who are so conditioned that our worth lies on how we look. Men too, but men are more conditioned the worth to how they perform. And to really go beyond that body image, beyond that, who am I if I don't have this perfect body? Who am I if I don't have this, or who am I? And to really tap into that being that you are. beyond all of that conditioning and to be really detached. And there's a huge difference between understanding it on a logical level and to really experiencing it. And part of me sharing this with you as well is like, because I am grateful, even though I'm so uncomfortable right now, because I really feel that I'm reaching a level of consciousness and freedom that I've never reached before. And most people, wow, that gives me even emotional right now. Most people never get there because we don't dare. And we are too scared and too ashamed. So I invite you today to really be seen, to share your shame, to share your fears, to know that you're not alone, that we are all connected. And I'm going to share something with you that I wrote a few years ago that I forgot. And it totally represents what I'm talking about today. Okay, so I have so many comments. Let me have a quick look. So I appreciate that you're even here. And I did a dedication in the very beginning. If you didn't see that, I dedicated this show for anyone who's brave enough to look deeper and to do really the inner work, because it takes courage and most people actually don't dare to do it. So you are amazing. You are courageous, and we need more people that awaken and dare to really become who they are and shine in the world. Okay. Hi, Sonia, from Alaska. Major changes. Yeah, a lot of people are going through so much stuff right now. Like really, it's such it's just like the old, and see it from a positive perspective. It's like the old is breaking down. The old patterns don't work anymore. And any change, any change is uncomfortable, especially for our patterns and our need for safety. So even though it's uncomfortable, it's exciting at the same time. I mean, it's really exciting. Not in the moment when you're in it, but even when you're kind of like over the hump, you feel like, oh my God, like I'm stretching, I'm growing. This is amazing. This gives me freedom. Okay. I numb the pain by hiding, staying in bed. I have started crying and releasing, which is helping me. Yeah, Gila, and thank you for sharing and being vulnerable. And I used to be extremely depressed in the past. Like, I know what it's like to wake up in the morning and to not want to go out of bed, to not want to actually even live another day, and the shame, and to really, you just wanted to put the blanket on top of, well, me, I'm talking about myself. That's my past. And not wanting to see someone because you didn't want to be, you just want to hide, right? And it's okay. First of all, I want to say it's okay that you feel this way. It's totally okay that you feel this way. And we all feel this way sometimes. Just everybody deals with it differently. You might not see us as hiding hiding shame. You can be outside in the world and you're still hiding. Can be by numbing yourself with substances, like for me it's food, for other people it's alcohol, drugs, whatever it is. It can be by just cutting yourself off so that you're actually around people, but you're not truly connecting. Your heart is not there. You're not truly connecting. So there are many ways. So thank you for sharing that, and crying and releasing it, and even sharing it here. Gila, I am convinced. And take a breath, because I'm just doing some clearing. And everybody can join with her in this very moment. Take a breath. And because you shared it and you wrote it down here publicly, things is already releasing. And I'm just doing, doing what I do. And take another breath. And let the shame just be seen. Yeah. Let me know, Gila, if that's true, that you feel some shifting. Okay. I've been doing a lot of healing through forgiveness of myself and others. Yeah, forgiveness is a big piece. I love that, Sonia. Forgiving ourselves also, and forgiving others. Happy Monday. Hi, Aura. Karen, absolutely makes sense. Like you, I tuned to food and numb myself. I lost 55 pounds 2 years ago, but with everything that has been going on in my life, I have regained 30 pounds and am very ashamed of myself. I have also been hiding from the world. Karen, thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm sure there's so many people who can relate to that, including myself. The shame that you lost that weight, you are seen a certain way, you feel a certain way, and then through what's happening, you fall back and you gain the weight. That is so shameful. And by you just bringing it up, it's the same with Gila, just by you sharing it. And take a breath. I want to do some clearing for you too. Knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you are not your body, that who you are as the essence of your being is beautiful, worth it. And to have compassion with yourself, because the fact that you're falling back and going back into eating, into stuffing yourself, that maybe uncontrolled binging, knowing that it's not good for you and that you're going to feel even worse. All of that comes from a place that everything feels like unsafe or unknown. And my biggest advice is to really look beyond the judgment of the overeating and the gaining weight, and to look deeper and see, okay, what am I actually learning? What's the lesson here? And to give yourself credit that you are stretching yourself outside the comfort zone, and trust that this is happening for you, even though it feels so uncomfortable. So take another breath. And Karen, let me know how that feels, and if you feel a release or a relief just by sharing and doing this. I'm also growing. Kersting, oh my gosh, so good to see you. I think I will buy a house, and I never thought. It's a great challenge. That's a big challenge. And I will manage no matter the stress. I'm really good connected with myself, so thumbs up, and your work helps me every day. Thank you, Kerstin. Yeah, we've been on the journey for 100 years, it feels like, right? Yeah, anything new, anything we grow into, even though if it's exciting, it just challenges those parts in us that are afraid, challenges the parts in us that want to stay in the old place. And if our consciousness just keeps moving, those parts just sometimes show up. And to be really compassionate about it, and at the same time to see it as an opportunity to keep growing and share, talk about it, stop hiding. I know it's not easy. I mean, I've been on the journey for such a long time, and I will be until I leave this planet. And if it wouldn't be, I tell you what the solution was for me. And that's the things that I teach. And it's ultimately really a 3-step process that I guide people and my clients through, that over time helps you to really connect with who you are and to become free. And if it wouldn't be for this, I would be not here in this world. Because shame and pain is so devastating sometimes that we'd rather die than to face our shame. And a lot of people do that. And I understand. And if you don't have a support system, or if you don't have a safe space, or if you don't know someone that's holding the space for you, it's very difficult to go through this by yourself. Maybe that was also the reason that I wanted to share this with you. And it might be actually longer today than any other day. And that's okay. Because the feeling of, hey, we are all in this alone and no one understands me. I mean, yeah, no, we all have our inner battles, and we do not have to do it all ourselves. Ultimately, we are all our own self, but we are not alone. We don't have to face this alone. Okay. Do you do tapping? Yeah, I do. I really feel the shame or fear, then tap through it. It has really helped me. Yes, tapping is a great tool. I use my own version of it with my clients. It's a great, yeah. If you do the tapping, totally encourage you to keep doing that. That's amazing. It's great. Thank you, Sonia. It never occurred to me to ask myself what the lesson is that I need to learn regarding my overeating. Oh, Karen, I'm so happy. That's a great piece. And Karen, I so resonate. I do exactly know where you are. Send me a quick message. I'm happy to connect with you and give you maybe some other insights here. What am I learning? What's the lesson? Where am I growing into? These are all questions that keep the vision light, because if we don't, we just fall back. Like if I wouldn't have the consciousness and the connection with my soul and who I am, this same pattern would mainly only resist in me judging myself, fighting myself, trying to lose weight again before I even show myself. And I know this is beyond. So if you repeat something over and over, there's a new strategy to learn. There's a new lesson, and we don't want to miss that. So it's really not about the weight. It's a huge opportunity for you to grow into something that the universe is bringing up for you. So I'm so happy that you said that. That's a huge, huge insight. Okay. Hi, Pamela. Shame has been recently awakening emotion with my son, believe it or not. Yeah, overlooking, yeah, vulnerable. Yeah, I hear. Yeah, shame is a big one. Shame is such a big one. I'm happy that you're here, Pamela. Hi, Gesine. The topic really resonates with me in my life right now. What can I do, please, when I feel overwhelmed by letting my dark feelings be unworthy? And because of that, the belief in them deepens. Okay, I know that we are going to talk soon, so I'm really grateful to help you then. And I can give you a little bit deeper insights on how to deal with the darkness when that comes up. But my number one tip, if you don't have anything else, always take a deep breath. And let's do this all together. Let all what came up, we kind of brought all that stuff up, that uncomfortable stuff. And do you feel what a power it is when we are together and we create that space together to hold it? So take a deep breath. And just accept for a moment and just be with it. And take another breath. And if you're really struggling, reach out for help. There's always someone that can help you. I'm happy to help you. Send me a message if you want, or someone else. I'm not attached to you working with me. I'm attached to you coming out of the shell, knowing that there's help, knowing that there's not only help. This is a huge opportunity for you to shine in a bigger way. Hi, Lucas. Okay, Sonia, thank you. Very powerful. Okay, so let me read a poem with you that I was reminded yesterday in my meditation that I want to leave you with today. It's called Freedom is Your Life. I want to take a sip of water. If you have any last questions or comments, please let me know if this was helpful. This is such an uncomfortable topic. And a lot of people don't talk about it. So for me, it's super important to know, is this helpful? Do you want me to bring this up? Do you need more help with this? Because I can create something around this as well for you guys, okay? So, and if you don't dare to leave a comment here because you don't want to be in public, I encourage you to do it anyway. However, I understand. So send me a private message. And share there, so you don't have to be in public, but you don't have to keep it inside and hide. Okay? Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so this is for you, because freedom is your life. In the darkest of moments, when we feel lost and ashamed, there's hope. There's love. There's a doorway to freedom. By embracing your darkness, you allow it to be. And it's this very moment that is setting you free. In the moments of fear, of despair, and of anger, there is hope. There is love. There's a doorway to freedom. By accepting it all without judgment and blame, you release the vibration of self-hatred and shame. In the moments of sadness, overwhelm, and disease, there is hope. There is love. It's a doorway to freedom. Tune inside. Take a breath. Give it space, then let go. Touch the beauty within, and your essence will grow. That's what I'm going to leave you with. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. You're beautiful. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Much love.